question of Zambia's freedom. It is said that it is impossible to free a people who think that they are already free. And Zambians are such a people. A people who still celebrate Independence Day even when the nation and the majority of its people are poorer more than ever before. Therefore, it is obvious that if we are to cure the people of Zambia from their ignorance of what true independence really means and subsequently launch the struggle for true freedom, the first point to start from and the first question to ask everyone is this: are we truly free? Is Zambia truly free? Are we free from poverty? Are we free from unemployment? Are we free from inequality, hunger, corruption, ignorance, and disease? Are we free from foreign exploitation? These are but some of the questions which can help us consider this question of freedom. This question of freedom is the most important question of our time. This is the question of paramount importance, a question upon which the success or failure of our generation depends. And I do not have to emphasize that the failure of our generation in carrying out our historical mission, the mission to make Zambia a truly proud and free country, rests squarely on our shoulders. We owe a duty not only to ourselves, but also to our predecessors whose struggle for political independence has brought us this far. And more importantly, we owe a duty of care to the generation of Zambians to come, the generation to whom we must hand over a nation that is not just politically independent, but also economically independent. We must remember that political freedom means nothing if we do not possess and control our natural resources. We, the youth of today, stand at the crossroads of history. We find ourselves in a very delicate situation where we can either make or break Zambia. We hold in our hands a very fragile nation with a fragile independence, an independence which is slowly but surely slipping out of our hands. And if we do not hold on, we shall find ourselves colonized once again. We shall be in a state of modern day slavery. We have to liberate Zambia. But I am afraid that most of the youth of today are not equal to the task, even though they are the majority. Many are not even aware of the historical task we must fulfill. They think that Zambia is free, despite all the social and economic indicators which show that Zambia is amongst the poorest countries in the world, even though we are well endowed with natural resources. A nation whose population consists of over 70% of youths who unfortunately spend most of their time patronizing shopping malls, browsing the internet for all sorts of useless time and entertainment. Youths who are more interested in pursuing self-glory more than they are interested in pursuing national glory. Youths who spend more time and energy discussing over music, movies, and hot celebrity gossip instead of discussing progressive, revolutionary ideas that can make our nation better. Such a youth are a danger not only to themselves, but also to the nation. And a nation with such youths cannot move forward. It is therefore vitally important that the question of our freedom, our economic freedom, be considered seriously and brought more into the public domain for consideration and necessary action. We who understand that Zambia has already lost her economic freedom, and therefore most of her political freedom also, have the greatest task of our generation: to politically educate and sensitize our fellow youths and compatriots to see that the nation has been lost, and that we who are alive today have got the sacred duty to struggle and fight to take it back. It is important for each and every Zambian to consider and seriously examine the question of Zambia's freedom, because the lack of freedom is the root cause of all the poverty and afflictions we suffer from today. The afflictions of unemployment, inequality, wage exploitation, and other offshoots of modern day African slavery or neocolonialism, in other words. These are strange days indeed. These are days of uncertainty and anxiety for many Zambians. These are times where we are no longer sure if education is really the key to success or even a guarantee for a good job at the end of our school days. These are times when few who have jobs cannot be sure if they will have jobs tomorrow. And we have seen what happened in the mines, where thousands lost their jobs and were left stranded by both their employers and the government. These are days when those who work the hardest are the least paid, and those who work the least are the richest. These are days where honesty is no longer the best policy, but instead deception and corruption has become the official state policy and therefore the order of the day in our society. We are living in a time where crime pays and honesty in politics, business, or even church does not pay. We are living in a country where dreams only come to those who are well to do. But for the majority of Zambians, their dreams are just pipe dreams. We are living in a time where foreigners are getting richer, and we, the Zambians, the owners of the land, are getting poorer. Something has gone wrong, and something has to be set right. We must ask ourselves, is Zambia really free? And we must ask ourselves, what is our national idea of freedom? This is a question which every one of us must meditate upon every day. Zambia has the potential to make all of us prosper in whatever we choose to be in this country. But as long as she is in a state of economic bondage, like a mother whose legs and hands have been tied, there is very little that Mother Zambia can do for us. So I ask you, let us not ask what Zambia can do for us. Let us ask what we can do for the economic liberation of Zambia. And if we do succeed in our quest for economic freedom, and I am sure that we shall, then we, the children of Zambia, shall once again win freedom's fight. We shall all be one, strong, proud, and economically free.